we go. Hey there, strangers. It's time for another 2 p.m. PST Twitch stream. I'm your host, Strangebro Jim, and today we are going to be getting back into some Pega studying, and then we're going to be doing some just chatting afterwards, and then we will be working on then we'll be doing some world warships later on tonight. I arrived a little late today, so it was quite got a little irritated today because um, I seeing that I don't have a car, I can't really go out anywhere to get any kind of food or anything along those lines. So I mean, obviously the better choice is to try to pick up food and try to eat it here, but um, I've had issues with that too. Um, so more often than not, I just kind of order food, right? Um, well, my I had quite a bit that happened today. You know what? I'll go ahead and talk about it, you know, in the just chatting stuff. So no need to kind of vent here. But just know that it was kind of an irritating thing. Um, so today we're going to be continuing on in capturing and presenting data. We're going to be doing the module quiz to finish off that module, and then we're going to be moving on to adding fields to views for the challenge. Um, and we'll see what we can do on that. Just to reiterate, to let people know if you're watching this for the first time, like maybe on YouTube or you're watching me right now on Twitch, um, I'm not a trainer. I don't mean to be a trainer. Um, I'm not officially part of Pega to be a trainer. I'm not been, I didn't take the requirements to be a trainer or anything along those lines. So obviously, not an official one. Pega does not sponsor this whatsoever, so I'm not associated with Pega. So don't think that that's there either. Um, but I'm doing this to try to get to my system architect. Um, I'm trying to get to the system architect certification. Um, there's also the business architect certification, but my main goal is to try to get the certification for system architect by the end of this video series slash um, training session that I do on a daily basis. So um, we're gonna just keep on moving forward on this. Um, we're gonna continue working towards getting to that system architect goal. Um, you know, and then trying to take the test at the end. So we're gonna be working on that. So let's go ahead and get into the module quiz right now. Um, and we'll proceed onwards. I don't want to waste too much time here. So, okay, so we got 5 questions. You want users to choose their delivery preferences. The options are standard, premium, and next day. You use the data model tab to create the field. Which field type do you use to define the delivery options list? User reference. Mm, probably not. Definitely not text. Definitely not Boolean. And I mean, you'd probably want to go with a pick list, but to have the three available there. But because these options have some like extra requirements to it, like they're most likely, showing like additional values to them, most likely, then I could potentially see a user reference as well, in the sense that, these might actually contain like additional information contained within them. Maybe, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, let's do the feedback for pick list first. Okay, so they do say that pick list is the best option for that. Okay. Um, I was wondering if you could actually use a reference there as well, but we'll move on. As part of the insurance claim case, when field service agents file an assessment, they should select one of the 10 existing user IDs from the group of claim representatives. What type of field type do you configure to meet this requirement? Aha. Okay, so um, hmm. Okay, so definitely not Boolean, definitely not texting the line. I mean, you could try to go for a pick list as well, but I think they're wanting to use a user reference in the sense that most likely each field agent has their own, you know, um, object associated with them. So I'm gonna assume a user reference. So, which, it says that it's correct. So, a ticket seller requires a calculated field to find the close on total cost of tickets purchased, sales tax, and processing fee. Complete the calculation configuration by entering the missing operations. Okay, so um, subtotal. Um, ooh, times the tax. Probably plus the processing fee. It depends on how they do the tax, really. Um, how do they configure the tax? That I could potentially see um, multiplication or division, but um, but at the same time, hmm, this doesn't give the total cost though, because the subtotal and tax needs to be added to the back to the subtotal, because that will only give you like a partial, unless of course you do like a 1.07 kind of thing. So I don't know. It feels like this equation isn't completely correct. Yeah, they're saying multiplication there isn't correct. So So I'm gonna use division on that one. It like I said, it all depends on how they went about doing that sales tax. So, which two options are available when configuring a view? Um, let's see. Add new fields into the view. Create a new data object. No. Reuse saved views. No. Create a new field that uses calculation function. Yes. I believe both of those are correct. Wait, what? Fields that use the calculation function are configured as part of the data object, or in the case designer. What? You can designate a field has a calculated value to it, though. Hmm. I guess they're saying that you can reuse saved views, which I mean you're not necessarily configuring a view if you're reusing saved views, are you not? I don't know. This question seems a little off. Which two of the following are use cases for calculated fields configured with functions? Um, okay. I need to kind of reread. This is a long question here, which is really bad for me in the sense that I tend to be a really slow reader. So, um, which two of the following are use cases for calculated fields configured with functions? So, roofing supervisor tracks the amount of time that workers spend preparing and performing jobs. As users enter their time worked in each field, the cumulative total calculates in another field. Time worked fields are stored in a list. I mean, that sounds about right. An online ordering application calculates the cost of each item type by multiplying the quantity by the unit price. Okay, that also seems right. A roofing supervisor tracks the amount of time that workers spend preparing and performing jobs. Users enter their time worked in each field. The cumulative total calculates in another field. The time worked fields are not stored in a list. Oh, okay. Um, that sounds about right. Testing facility wants to know the average score for each test that the facility provides. By test, you can create a test scores list and then use the calculation to generate the results. Hmm. Okay, so all these seem very close to what you can use with functions. That's the problem here. Um, in that, cumulative total, that's a function. That's, adding everything together. So, um, you're talking about, average scores. That's also a function. Um, But by test, you can create a test scores list and then use the calculation to generate the results. I don't think that's correct. So I believe that both of these are the correct answers here. They're both wrong. The single input fields in the multiplication calculation indicate a custom calculation. Using single input fields to calculate a sum indicate a custom. But wait, hmm, I hmm, I'm not sure about this one. Okay, well apparently both of those two answers are wrong according to them, so I guess, both of those need to be the correct answers, although the only difference between these two is the fact that, the time worked fields are not stored in a list here, or they are stored in a list, but how's this one wrong and this one is correct here? You know, because this is also still dealing with single fields according to what they're saying. So, I mean, the only difference is, whether or not it's stored in a list or not stored in a list. And it's like, okay, well, um, I don't know. Okay, well, we finish. And I still got something wrong. Okay. You can reuse saved fields when configuring new views. Okay, but you can also have a field that has the calculated added in. So How's that different? How's that a wrong answer? Moving on. Okay, this is the service agent. That's the user reference one, so we move on. Um, this one's wrong. They're somehow stored in a list versus not stored in a list. Again, I don't know how or why, but and then of course your average score. So the sum function adds all specified property instances that are stored in a list. Okay, so mm, that's a little weird. Because okay, the reason why I'm kind of uh, weirded out by this is the fact that they're saying that you're kind of creating lists on the fly. Um, and um, so but yet the other parts of this is basically saying that you know users enter their time worked in each field, and then the cumulative total calculates in another field, like right then and there. So, how does this how does this work? you know, um, because you're having the user entering into a field, your your sum of isn't isn't necessarily pulling these from a list. They're pulling them from the fields themselves. So I don't know. It's um, testing facility wants to know the average score of each test that the facility provides. By test, you can create a test scores list. That this phrasing here is a little weird. By test, you can create a test scores list. Okay, then use the calculation to generate the results. Like, wait, what? um, maybe they need to kind of add like specific examples for like the test. Like instead of saying by test, basically say, hey, this facility has this test, and this test, and you need to average, you know, by facility. So whatever. I don't know, man. I'm feeling like that's a little off. Okay, I'm also feeling like um they're screwing up here too because I did these right for the last one. Yeah, they're also saying that the subtotal divided by and divided by is also wrong. So it has to be a plus. Nowhere in here does it mention the fact that sales tax has already been applied. They didn't calculate you know, no, nowhere in here do they mention the fact that the tax has already been multiplied with the subtotal to generate the sales tax to be added to the subtotal here. This ah, let me finish this off. Most likely this is going to be correct, right? 100%, because that calculation was the incorrect answer. Right. Okay. So, um, I'm gonna go back to that image and suggest an edit because they're screwing up there. I don't care what the answers are here. I just want to move on to the next one. Here we are. Okay. So, all right. Okay. Okay. Suggest an edit. There we go. And the module quiz. It talks about the sales tax. However, it does not mention that the sales tax had already been multiplied with the subtotal to get the amount that would be added back into the subtotal. Therefore, the description of the question does not have enough information to generate the proper equation. either change the question to mention that the sales tax was already calculated, or add the calculation of the sales tax into the answer itself. AKA their math is wrong, or at least, they're not, you know, what I'm trying to say, for anybody that's kind of curious, okay? They don't mention the fact that the sales tax had already been calculated in, okay? The sales tax could be just the sales tax. It could be, 0.07, okay? You don't add that into the subtotal. You don't add 0.07 into the subtotal. That makes no sense whatsoever. You're not doing that, okay? That's not how you calculate the sales tax, okay? So, so if I, here, let's do it this way. Let's go back to the module where this was being done, right? Let's see, calculated values. They had an example right down here, right? Um, right here. Okay, so um, they have the um, they had the subtotal, which was basically both of these line totals added together. Okay, and then they had the tax of 8%. They don't state that it's the calculated version of the sales tax. They just say sales tax. That could be this 8%, or it could be this 3.22. I don't know. Okay, that's the point. When I hear sales tax, I think 8% all the time. I don't, do the calculated value because it's a calculated value. Okay, so I'm not going to go, oh yeah, it's going to be 3.22. No, that's a, this changes based off the subtotal. So, when you say something like sales tax, you have to use the specific value that's been given there. Um, so their equation wasn't descriptive enough for it. So yeah, okay. Sorry if I'm sounding a little agitated. Like I said, I had some problems earlier for lunch. And to be honest, um, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to um, the challenge, not in the next 10 minutes or so. Oh, right. I don't have, didn't have the low code app builder and the up here when I was going into the module. Okay, so um, I don't think I'm gonna have enough time to do the adding fields to views at this point. Sorry for taking so long on this. Um, I want to look at the views here because you can set your view to have calculated in there. Um, now, now the question is no, this is something that you can bring up when you're creating the field name. When you're creating the field, you can set it up to have a calculation in there. Here, let me look back on the module again. Let me look at that answer again because let's see. Looking at this one here. Create a new field that uses a calculation function. Why did they say this was wrong again? Fields that use a calculation function are configured as part of a data object or in a case designer data module tab. And that's incorrect. Hold on. Let me you can do that here. This isn't part of a data object or anything along those lines. It's a field. Okay, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this as well because this is okay. Okay, let me. And the question about configuring views, the answer for um, adding a field with a calculation function is possible based on your own image on the calculated fields topic. So why is it a wrong answer? When you add a new field, you can expand the advanced and uh, and create a function right there. That's why a field is considered calculated. Can you please explain why it is the wrong answer? Because the explanation, spelling that, isn't correct either. All right. So yeah, what's this crap all about when you have this? This uses an expression or, whatever you want to, modify there. You can change your calculation here within the field. So don't give me this crap that it's part of an object. No, no, that's incorrect. This is part of the fields. You can do this inside the field pop-up window. So this whole thing about, that user calculation function are configured as part of the data object. It's like, you can still create a new field that uses a calculation function inside of view. So, if you can add new views, if you can add new fields to a view, you can have a new field that has a calculation function in there. Don't give me this crap about, no, this is incorrect. Both of these are, you know, um, both of these are kind of tied with each other. You know, if you're adding a new field to a view, you can also add a calculation function inside that new field. So this is okay. I don't know. That's why I've been a little. I don't know. There are times where it's like, okay, what are you doing, Pega? Why? The fact that I'm trying to do all these suggestions and stuff like that just feels as though it's like, they really need to have like testers work on this. Have new eyes, fresh eyes, work on these modules, work on these quizzes and the like, because it feels like they're just failing outright on this, you know. Um, and it makes it difficult because they're most likely the ones that are building the certification tests. So I mean, if the module quiz has those incorrect or you know um, has those kind of questions where it's like, wait, but this is the right answer and you're marking it wrong, then it makes me wonder, you know, if I um, it makes me wonder if I go back and look at my old test, which I can't. I can't look at my old certification exam anymore. It makes me wonder, did I actually get some of those questions technically right? Because the questions were vague, you know, or the answers were vague. I don't know. Okay, that's my problem with this right at this moment in time. It's you know that that answer should be a correct answer. You know, this should be a correct answer. You know, I don't know what this is all about. Maybe they're like saying, "Oh, hey, you can't create a new field. You can only add a new field." Then I'd be like, "What's the difference? What's the difference between the two?" Um, I don't know. We'll see about you know working on these a little bit more in the um, we'll see about that in the challenge that's coming up. I'll work on it tomorrow. Um, adding fields to views. So, um, yeah, see, advanced. You can add a calculated value with field in advanced here. So don't give me this crap about, oh, hey, you can't, you know, um, see, they're even not doing it themselves, you know. Um, add a calculated field to perform repair view here. They're even doing it here. So, don't give me this crap about, you can't add a field with a calculated view, you know, to, or, don't give me this crap about you can't add a field to a view, with a calculated field. That's BS. They're screwing up on that quiz. So, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Um, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and end that here. Um, okay. Um, we're gonna go on to just chatting here on Twitch here pretty soon. I'm going to go ahead and um, close this video down pretty soon, but I just want to let anybody that, if you are watching this on YouTube, um, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, bell notifications, have other playlists and the like, check out the description for more. Um, if there's some details that you'd like to maybe try to explain, like maybe you're part of Pega official, maybe you are a certified trainer, I would love for you to kind of go through these videos and maybe help me out. Leave some comments because, um, not only would they potentially be helping me, but they would be helping anybody else that watches these videos. So, I have a playlist, so you know, um, and I've been trying to upload to it daily. So, check it out. Let me know. Give me some good pointers or something like that, or maybe get back to Pega and say, hey, no, Jim's right. This needs to be fixed or something like that. I'm trying to do what I can with these suggested edits, but you know, um, I it it would probably take me like another hour just to try to put in additional suggestions and like so. Um, I've been trying to suggest to them, hey, check out my videos. I'm gonna be saying more stuff to them, and it might help you out. Maybe. Hint, hint. Nudge, nudge. uh, but trying to help you out, trying to make it easier for you, and in a way, helping out future test takers. You know. So okay. Um. But yeah, that's gonna be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video right now.